Many questions were revolving around the nisab of zakah. What is the nisab? The minimum threshold, the minimum amount which is zakatable. Maximum, anything that goes beyond this amount is definitely zakatable. But we're targeting the minimum amount. Two conditions are required for the mandate of zakah or alms on one's wealth, saving or investment. The first condition is the possession of the nisab. So now the word possession of nisab actually consists of two categories, two pivots. The first one is the actual possession, so it's yours. When people bring some amanat and deposit them with me, so I end up having 10 million, but they're not mine, then you're not required to pay zakah on that because this is not your money. We're talking about the actual possession. And that's why we will talk about the zakah on 401k or the retirement fund. We're talking about condition of the possession of the nisab. What is the nisab? The minimum amount which is zakatable. At the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was about 200 dirhams of silver or 20 dinar of gold. The 20 dinar of gold and the 200 dirhams were equivalent in the value. They would buy the same, maybe 20 sheep or so. Nowadays, the gap is huge between the two values, the silver, the nisab of silver, and the nisab of gold, to the extent that the nisab of gold is way more than nisab of silver as far as value. I'd like to explain further so that you won't get confused. What is the nisab? The minimum amount of possession of gold which requires the payment of zakah. All of that we're still addressing the first condition. The minimum amount is 85 grams of gold, 24 karat, pure gold, or their worth. When we look into the value of 85 grams of gold nowadays, it's approximately 6K. What is the nisab for silver? 595 grams of silver. That's actually less than $1,000 because silver is cheap. Back then, silver and gold, the 200 dirham of silver were equivalent in value to the 20 dinar of gold. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ said either this or that. In the past, they didn't have banknotes, they didn't have checkbook, they didn't have credit cards or debit cards, they didn't have cryptocurrency, digital currencies. What they had is either gold in the form of a dinar. Not only among the Arab, even other nations. You have a dinar of gold, it worth that much. And they have the dirham of silver. So 20 dinars of gold were equivalent in value to 200 dirham of silver. So that's why the nisab with either possession of 20 dinar of gold or 200 dirham of silver. Now, the value of the 20 dinar of gold is, as I said, about $6,000, while the value of the 200 dirham of silver or 595 grams of silver, pure silver, is less than $1,000. So which nisab shall we take? Which nisab shall we follow? All of that we're only addressing the first condition. The second condition, if you possess this amount for an entire lunar calendar, lunar year, it is best for the benefit of the poor to follow the nisab of silver. So you need to go online and check out how much is the silver today. 200 dirhams, i.e. 595 gram of silver, the purest silver. If they say $700, so that is the nisab. $1,000, that is the nisab. If you end up possessing this amount or this value for one complete lunar year, then you must pay zakah on this amount or their worth or what exceeds that as well.